The governor made it very clear over the weekend he supports teacher raises, pre-K for all, more money for things like transportation and mental health services for students. But he does not support the scholarship tax credits in House Bill 1. Here's a portion of what he wrote in his veto message. The governor saying, quote, with House Bill 1, the supermajority is at it again, wanting to use a federal tax credit to divert public dollars to private schools. While the Kentucky Constitution says that's up to the voters, the bill allows the Secretary of State in office with no public education or taxation duties to decide. The bill does designate the Secretary of State as the office carrying out this program. Its primary sponsor and co-sponsor responded to the governor's veto message, calling it a shameful disservice to Kentucky students, going on to say, quote, by blocking this program, the governor is once again standing in the way of a policy that empowers parents and expands educational opportunities for children, whether through tutoring, school supplies, or other academic resources. The ball's in their court. If legislators want to override the governor's veto, they'll need a majority of the members of both houses to pass it. With this WKYT Fact Check, I'm Christine Kennedy.